It's been wrong in the past, even at those levels, but I do think it's a sure thing this time.
And I finally had a sure thing.
The stock market was a sure thing.
Sure thing.
Not a sure thing.
Sure thing.
It wasn't a sure thing.
It's a sure thing.
Amen.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Not a sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing. Sure thing.
Sure thing. Sure thing.
I don't think it's a sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Not a sure thing. Sure thing.
Must be a sure thing, but I don't think it's a sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Nature, everybody wants to rule.
We're taking a big risk here. I've changed all the angles of the record.
Is it at least recording? Can you check, please?
Hopefully it's recording, but I'll tell you, it's like I can't relax on the couch because I've got this stupid earpiece in and the wire's not long enough. So if I want the camera where I want, I have to sit perched forward with a crooked back, and then everyone watching thinks, oh, he looks so fucking uncomfortable. I'm like, I am. He looks, you know, like someone where they sit. Someone can sit at a table and make you feel unsettled. You're like, he looks like he's about to launch and jump up and stab me. That's my vibe.
Have you considered taking any action to resolve the issue?
Dude, I'm in like the prone position, like about to pounce on a rat.
You could have longer headphones. You could have the internet. You could have...
Yeah, I can get longer things. But you know what happens? Is every week there's some sort of obstruction or intrusion. So the guys from Hard Yarns will go, hey, I'll come in. And I go, where's my laptop? And they've just moved it because they've been filming skits. And then they'll move. I'll go, hey, you took my fucking stand. They go, yeah, there's another one there. And then I'll record for weeks later and go, oh, the other one means that I look like I'm staring down a drain. Oh, do you know when someone like tinkers with something and you're like, well, it still works.
No,
I don't. It still works. It's still golf clubs.
I don't have people tinkering with my stuff, man.
Well, it's sort of like this vibe. You know what I mean? You borrow a lawnmower from the neighbor and then you go, well, here's some scissors. Still works. You can have scissors. It just takes you more hours. I mean, that helps you understand the lawn better, though, doesn't it? See you. These diminishing... People diminish things. It was like, I heard someone, like we were talking about it with the football, right? The Matildas.
Yeah.
And it's just kicking a ball. Comedy's just making people laugh. A vet is just a fancy butcher. Do you know what I mean? Like, a butcher that with compassion, or that's trying to, you know what I mean? It's like everything. Oh, you're an engineer. I hear it all the time with the crowd work. Engineer, so you put a vacuum, you suck oil up with a vacuum. Yeah, that's what I do. You draw bridges. Wow, that's pretty fucking school shooter vibe. No, that's architecture. It's a proper profession.
Yeah, but have you considered getting like headphones that work or the internet put in or anything that resolves the issue?
Yeah, well, look, there are ways to resolve it, but what's an interior designer? A cushion?
A fluffer.
A fluffer. Effectively, they fluff a house. They sprinkle cushions around the house.
Yeah.
I see like they'll do prints on the wall and colour thing. I think if you're smart, your house should have nothing in it. Minimalist. Except for a noose in the middle of the lounge.
Yeah. Just tempting you every night. Every Tuesday when you walk through the door, you think, man, I don't have to go to work tomorrow.
People would tizzy anything up if you put your into it. Like you'll see an Uber driver, because he's in the car a lot, he's got LED lights, fuffy dice, and he's got cushions and back massaging and a foot spa near the brake pedal. And like you tizzy everything up, but it's basically all the human condition.
You know those Uber drivers where they would like pull up and they would have set up a full karaoke thing in the back?
Oh, dude.
Can you imagine like the day after they finally hit burnout and they're like, man, fuck this, fuck these people, fuck this job.
Yeah.
And they pick up a rider and the rider's like, oh, karaoke. And you know what I mean? Like they still have to do like they've set it up.
And he's like, no, it doesn't work. It's not working at the moment. And you go, yeah, let me have a good, I'm a sound tech. I'm a noise player. Yeah, I can fix it. And you go, no, there must be a moment where you rip it all out. Yeah. Because I often go there, whoa, this is gaudy. Shit, I don't know how you sit with all these LED lights and you got a smoke machine in the back. I'm like, it's sort of excitable kid that's, when you first get a room, you've got posters up, you've got that slam dunk thing that goes into the dustbin.
Yeah.
Eventually, all you've got is like a bong pipe and some disregarded condoms, and you can't even tell if it's the lounge or a bedroom. You just don't care anymore. Dude, but speaking of Ubers, have you checked your rating? I've got 35 one-star reviews.
Are you serious? 35 1 stars?
Because I had this idea where I thought, wow, I must have had a few blackout drunks during the divorce, and I kept ringing them up and going, look, I think there's been a misunderstanding, 1 or 2 bad rides. I finally got access to the system. 34.
How do you get access to the number? Where do you have the number?
You can go through the app, but you know what's crazy is you think, wow, that must have been a bad period in my life a few years ago, like demerits. It's eventually going to erase itself. I checked today, 35. I got another 1-star rating in the last 10 days. And I think it was because I was with comedians and we were chatting to the guy, and then I did a joke that failed, something about the smell of the taxi, and he seemed and I was like, what? You're going to indict me for one bad closer? I said, what about earlier in the set when I was singing Curry, Curry, Curry? You loved that. We were laughing. We could have fucking married at that point, and you fucking finger me because I did a smell reference at the end. It was just taking some risks.
What's the number? Like how many, what is it out of 5?
Well, 1 star is as low as they can go. You can't give zero.
No, but what is your total overall score?
Oh, like I'm in the low 4s, and what was crazy is in America.
Bad. That's not bad at all, man.
No, it is bad because in America,
he
goes, "You're lucky I picked you up. One of the lowest scores I've ever seen." He goes, "You do realize you cannot go below 4.2. Or you're taken off the app." And I was like, "I'm at 4.23." And he goes, "Exactly. You've probably got one more star, and you're out."
Dude, that must have been real tempting for that guy to be like, man, I'll just give him 1 star and get him booted. Like, I'll be the straw.
I've realised I'm not a dobber. I don't fucking talk to the teacher, so I don't review anymore. I just skip it. I'm like, fuck you. I don't care if it's a sex pest. You find them. It's your fucking controls. I'm not checking whether your products are faulty. What, do I work at the warranty team? I'm like, your exchange and returns is your obligation. It's like on Jetstar, I've got to let them know, hey, let you know, seat row 3A.
I've done a shit and I've squished it down between 27A and 27B.
Hey, mate, there's 40 pieces of gum wedged on 3A, and 3B has got a bit of metal that might cut someone and end up with a lawsuit. I'm like, you do the check. Yes, there's fecal matter all over the tray table because I kept picking my ass and rubbing it into bits where people would put cups because I was angry. I've done that before as well, where they make you wait.
Done what before?
Well, you're on a flight and they go, we're going to make you wait. And then you either take a life jacket or you just rip some electrical equipment up the back and you go, we apologize for this 20-minute delay. And I'm like, I apologize for ripping the circuitry out near the toilet and just trying to flush it down the toilet. I said, we can all be bastards in our own way. I'm sorry for taking what looked like an important metal thing and just shoving it down the drain and seeing if it would flush out. Basically what happens is, right, there's an element of trust. You do the right thing, I do the right thing.
Yeah, that is the social contract that we all sort of buy into.
As soon as that's broken and they give me a drink voucher that's not valid or it's less than the drinks, well, I go, well, now you can't trust me to not just spend my whole time trying to pull circuitry out.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I thought it was a fidget spinner. I'm a very jumpy ADHD guy. I've been picking at all the wiring in this panel. And they go, well, what are you doing that for? And I'm like, well, the contract was breached when you gave me $9 and you knew drinks were 10. So I thought I want to relax by pulling at wires under my seat and just ripping them out. And they go, what are you doing that for? And I go, well, you didn't have the entertainment. The screen didn't work. So I thought it'd be funny trying to get sparks and smoke from these wires. So I've pulled and bitten. And they go, you've bitten a piece of foam out of the seat. And I'm like, well, I had to relax some way. And I found it quite cathartic biting at the upholstery for the whole flight, nozzling at my teeth at all the stitching of, do you know, what would they do?
Wait, you've got, like, there's a real dichotomy going on here because you're like, the social contract has been breached, but then you're also a man who's like, I have 35 one-star reviews on Uber.
Oh, yeah, but what I'm saying
these things go hand in hand, man. Like, I think you think the social contract has been breached quite early.
Yeah, but there's a lot of arguments, right? So they don't give you You can just walk out with your life jacket on and say, look, I just don't feel safe. I'll send it to you in the mail. And they go, that's that's $800 life jacket. And you're like, trust me, I'll send it back. You guys didn't have any fucking chicken. You ran out of chicken. I want to wear the life jacket to go get my luggage. I'll give you the life jacket back when I've confirmed that my luggage has made it safely with Air France.
That's fair.
You go, this is called a lien. And they're going like, well, what the fuck? And you go, look, I will put this life jacket back on the rotating terminal.
On the little conveyor belt.
On the conveyor belt once I've safely secured my assets. I'm like, I'm not going to a drug deal and you get the drugs and I don't have any fucking, give me something to hold on to.
Yeah.
So now what everyone should do on a flight is you should always take your life jacket down and then you keep it. When they go, hey, sorry, we were delayed, so we put everyone. Your luggage has gone on the later flight because we didn't want to miss the timeline, so we decided to just fuck your whole ski trip. And I'm like, well, 80 of us have got life jackets, so yeah, we'll be sending them back to you when we get our luggage. Sorry, or you're gonna have to go and fucking go to head office and try get new life jackets. What I'm saying to everyone, I propose you put a lien on the life jacket until you've confirmed that you got your luggage back and then you put it back on the conveyor belt. And that is what we call a fair arm's length deal, Jetstar. So fuck you. Is that bad? Am I being obnoxious or am I being a good business mind?
No, I think that's good. That's a great idea, man. It's you're securing your own collateral from the airline.
Let's get that on Reddit. And you go, you know what I mean? Imagine that. So they go, look, we're in Adelaide Airport. There's a slight delay. And you go, wow, bad news. I fucking lost track of your life jacket in the terminal while I was drinking. So I go, that's fine. Don't worry about drink vouchers because I flushed your life jacket down the toilet in the main community hall area. Dude, you would feel good. Why aren't people on Reddit setting shit like this up?
Yeah, I don't know if Reddit's the best place to be organizing anything. But yeah, I agree with you, man. Yeah.
Well, look, it could ramp up. You could be actually tripping air hostesses on the way out and sort of, they've injured their fourth vertebra. And that's probably a lot because you just weren't happy that your coffee was a bit hot. That's getting psychopathic, but still a lot of fun. Dude, but speaking of the Uber thing, driving here, I did the craziest thing because I yell at everyone that I go past, yell and wave. Wasn't in a great move. There was a black guy with dreadlocks, and for some reason I had that impulsion. I just pulled a finger at him. Just randomly. And then I thought, this is not nice. This close out to the vote, I fucked up bad. And then I had that classic, I go, I regret that. I shouldn't have done that. I just thought it'd be funny. I'd see his reaction. But I got caught at the lights and he turned around and he was coming. And I was like, be brave, be brave.
Well, what do you mean? Wait. He was on foot or in a car?
He was on foot. I pulled a finger at him just to see if I could elicit a reaction. It got one.
Right, so you pulled the finger and then you look across and it's red, and so you have to park immediately.
Oh, dude, it was so terrifying. And I was like, I'm going to have to try.
You have to weasel your way out of this one.
And then I'm just so racist. I'm so biased. It's not an Aboriginal guy, but I assume that I'm going to have to confirm that I was a yes voter to this man. And you know when you're hitting those locks and you go, fuck, I wish I had a better car. I don't know if this fucking...
Yeah, you're in the Captiva having no central locking, having to lean across, do all the doors.
Oh, dude.
How do you lock the boot from inside?
You know, the thing is, it's just all about improv. Generally, I'm waving and saying fun stuff, but I haven't had much success fishing for reactions.
This is bold, man, on the suspended license as well.
Oh, suspended's... I've gone crazy now, dude. I'm trading on my front console, going 120.
How long do you have left?
It's all allegedly, because what I realized is there's big problems here retrospectively if I get nailed.
How long do you allegedly have left on your suspended license?
Oh, dude, I am the king. I have ghosted the whole roads. I've only got 2 weeks left.
Dude, this is the time that you should not be driving, man. I told you. This is the last home stretch where you're going to get caught.
What my theory was now 2 weeks out, I'll just not even take a risk.
Yep.
But then I realized you've got plausible deniability 2 weeks out that you didn't know the right date.
Dude, no, that's not going to work. That's not going to work.
My dad argued with me. I'm not saying it will work, but I'm saying there will be leniency. And the worst case scenario is probably they go, he fucked up. We'll give him another 3 months.
Man, I don't know,
But
dude.
what I'm saying to you, I'm not going to go to prison.
No, dude, that's not it. They'll be like, no, it's done for a year. You're fucked.
And you know what's so exciting about it is that I can, in 2 weeks, I can revert back to form because I'm unteachable and unlearnable.
You've not stopped, man. You've stopped nothing. You've changed nothing about your behavior.
Oh, no, but I'm going to be even worse. And now I'm going to be speeding in school zones just to teach them a lesson. This is what I said. Karma has come for me, and I'm in the fight to a death with karma. Do you know, we always said it on the pod, what if you took on karma? And they go, well, that's bad karma. And I'm like, you only lose if you give up. Every loss is a lesson. And I'm like, karma. My whole family's died in a fire. Well, guess what? Now your family dies in a fire.
Now I start the fires.
And then you'll go, now I'm a fire starter and I'm lighting bushfires in bushfire season. And I'm like, why are you doing that? I'm going, what's actually happened is I'm in a fight to the death with a force called karma. And I said, I was actually a law-abiding good boy. And I said, I've been forced into a death match, a war of attrition with a force called karma. And I said, I did not want to set that school on fire. But also, I got sunburnt and there's been other things that have...
They lost my luggage.
My sun cream ran out.
I've gotten 35 1-star reviews.
Oh, yeah?
Your Honor, I'm in a cosmic battle with a force, an untamable force called karma.
And things escalate. So I'm like, why'd you firebomb an Uber? And I'm like, because...
Your Honor, things escalate.
Why'd you firebomb... You firebombing Ubers. And I'm like, well, because you suspended my ability to travel, so I thought I'd suspend Uber. I would take on the whole brand that is Uber.
This is the greatest defending yourself in court moment, man. Like, this is the strategy, dude. Getting up there and being like, Your Honor, I am in a cosmic battle.
I'm in a cosmic battle with a force known as karma.
For a pretty insignificant traffic violation. And you're there just dressed in a like haphazard suit, tie kind of pulled to the side. Your Honor, I'm in a cosmic battle.
Dude, it's a bit like...
You know that gavel is coming down immediately. You know as soon as you say, I am in a cosmic battle with karma, it's... Sir, sit down.
It's that scene in Blow, right? Where the guy goes, borders are imaginary. So basically, I took a natural growing herb over an imaginary line. And she goes, unfortunately, that herb is illegal and borders are real. Fucking bang. You're going to jail for 15 years.
Yeah, dude, you're getting gavelled immediately. But dude, you're getting gavelled so quickly that like you're gonna be like, I don't know, 2 weeks. I thought it was this week. They're like, well, too bad, fuckface. You're losing your license for 3 years. You're done.
Oh, yeah, man. Well, it's what I always said to you. We said that it's the monopoly tantrum. If you have not been, if you haven't been brought up well, it makes sense that you end up having tantrums when things don't go your way. And basically, if I had had a clean run, and my career in comedy had just worked out and I was given money, I wouldn't have had to take that machine gun to the local shopping centre.
Okay, so what happened with the black guy that you flipped off earlier?
Oh, dude, the relief. I was like, come on, act calm. If you show fear, it's worse. So I go, sit there calmly. And then, oh, my God, the green came on. And then I was real casual, like... I was like, Snoop Dogg. Da-na-na-na. Like Hood Rat, like I would have had it. Like I would have had you, man. But you know what the thing was?
You're real ballsy when you've got the speed, when the wind's behind you.
Dude, suddenly I had like Hood vibes where I was like, boom, the car's bouncing up and down and I'm like gangster rap playing. It is funny to short circuit non-playable characters because they do not know how to react. If you walk in a shopping center and you've got Vietnamese wrap and you're eating it and you're just walking past people pulling fingers and just right at their face pulling a finger, the non-playable characters sort of short circuit because people have to react.
But this guy knew exactly how to react, man. This guy started moving towards you in a threatening manner.
Dude, but
and you freaked out.
Yeah, but I think he was going for a jog. I also destroyed his jog. Like, he was out on a jog. He shouldn't be reacting to me. He's a non-playable. He should just keep running. It's like on Zelda, and then suddenly you've got the guy that's meant to show you how to get the hang gliding thing is trying to attack you because you pissed him off in the exchange. It's like, it's not programmed. A random passerby is not suddenly meant to chase you because you pulled a finger at him from a car. He's a background character, and then he's actually trying to step up to a main feed. It's insane.
But he did, man. He gave you a very tangible sense of fear.
Dude, he scared the fuck out of me, and you know what?
This isn't a non-playable character, man. He didn't just not react. He started approaching the car, and you immediately started sweating and regretting.
Yeah, how have I not replicated Grand Theft Auto? I'm living in a real-life video game. And that could have just been a boring drive to get a coffee and to set up the pod, and it actually became a real adventure, like an adrenaline rush. You know when you go on the Sydney Harbour and you're on one of those boats and they do turns where you think you're going to fall out?
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun. And look, I do feel bad because generally what I do with passerbys is weird, over-familiar waves and claps and kindness. Like, I'm stoked to see them.
Yes.
I don't know what happened today. I think I was in a bad mood.
No, it was a race thing, man. It was definitely a race thing.
It wasn't race-based. I realise you can't... How you meant to put down... Oh, whatever. We're not going into this area.
Put down what?
Well, I mean, if I'm say I'm pulling fingers at everyone...
Were you, though?
Yeah, I pulled at a kid on a school bike yesterday.
Yeah, what colour was he?
He didn't react.
What colour was he?
He's a white boy. And I pulled a finger randomly at about a 12-year-old, maybe a 14-year-old boy that was like, you know when they've got that cool vibe and he had a neck chain on, trying to be cool, and I drove past and then he saw me pull a finger and he shat his pants. So that's maybe where I got the courage. With that age gap, I suddenly thought, oh, this might be the new move.
I pulled up next to a kid with Dalton in the car one time after school.
Yeah.
Pulled up next to this like 14, 15-year-old.
Yeah.
He's walking by himself. Dalton looks over at him. He looks over at Dalton. And I start winding the window down. The kid freaks the fuck out. Dalton's like, what the fuck?
Dude, and what you don't realize is you are now like the local primary schools. So there'll be a red bulletin alert and there'll be a description and go, look, we don't know if it meant he didn't yell, get in the car, but we're suspicious. There's your car, whatever.
It was a white Swift at the time.
We go, there's a white Swift. Just be on alert because he's slowing down and unwinding his window near bus stops and school pickup areas. We get a lot of notices around our school. There's a suspicious man at the shops. There's a suspicious car. And I'm like, all of these are probably people like me that are just pulling fingers, yelling out windows. Because we got a notice recently at school that a lady had left her daughter in the car when she ran in to get milk or something, and a man had tried to fish open the...
Jesus Christ.
Had been knocking on the glass and trying to convince her to open up the latch and then sort of jimming. And I'm like, yeah, that's not a misunderstanding. But it could theoretically be someone like me doing it as a prank.
That's not a prank.
That's not a prank to try sort of convince
a small girl to let you inside.
And this is why you realize you've got those the three little pigs, and they're warning not to open, or you know, like the wolf and the sheep, not open, don't open the door.
Because the three little pigs, it's not about that.
Yeah, but Red Riding Hood, or one of those ones where you don't open your door to a wolf dressed as a nana.
Yeah.
So that's the lesson, and this is why they go, oh, it's so scary. But back in the day, you knew, oh, this is a nana dressed as a wolf dressed as a nana. Don't open the latch. This day and age, you'll open it and think this must be, we're going to make a TikTok together. You know what I mean? These scary messages need to be out there for kids to warn them and go like, 1 in 5 men are pedophiles, don't respect adults. If you see an adult and you're alone, scream, he tried to touch me, just to be safe.
So you see yourself as sort of a vigilante.
I say to my boys, accuse first, fact second. I'm like, if in doubt, accuse, yell at the top of your lung, There's a predator.
You see yourself as like you're helping children by mock attacking them by throwing fingers.
Oh, no, I've never mock attacked a kid. I've just
You
pulled
just
a finger.
said that you were throwing fingers at them.
Yeah, but that's because I don't like kids that. I hate that when I'm cool vibe that people get. Like I've got my shit. I hate. There's nothing worse than the 14-year-old that's got his. He's got his fucking BMX and he's got his cool vibe now and he's listening to the right music and he's got his special pencil case that makes him cool and he's got Slayer on his bike chain and he's got the cool stickers. I'm like, a boy like that needs to be nudged by the vehicle to bring him back to reality. No one's cool. There's no elevation. And I'm like, a boy like that might need to be nudged with the front of my Captiva to help redirect and get his life sorted. I mean,
so that's the focus of your ire is children who you perceive to be thinking that they're too cool.
I don't like the privilege, like to not be humbled by life, to see that window and go, 16 and you've got it worked out. I'm like, time to be humbled by reality. And I am, like I said, I'm up against karma, and then I'm also fighting human egos. And I'm the man to be out there to humble a cocky 16-year-old by fighting the whole gang. I see a gang down the park. I get a baseball bat out of my car, and they just go, there was a random man that tried to fight us. Yeah. And I'm like, I was just trying to humble you boys. There's nothing worse than an unchecked ego. I'm doing you a favor. Trust me, that femur will heal up, and you'll have a nice, healthy respect for reality. Your parents have done a bad job. Have some fucking humility, for fuck's sake, thinking you're good. Do not ever think you're good in this world, in this realm or the next. Always have humility and always, what do you do on stage? We make a few laughs. Are you a mechanical engineer or do you just vacuum the ocean for oil? You're a vacuum driver. Do you fly a plane? No, it's just a car in the air. Driving a car in the air. It's not that complicated.
Yeah.
Do you know what's funny is the pilot swagger at the airport, and we all know autopilot was invented 30 years ago.
A lot of this is projected, man. You're like this.
You see
a child. You're like, this 16-year-old thinks he's the shit. I've got to teach him a lesson. Or you see a pilot, and you're like, this pilot's a cocky fuck.
Oh, dude, pilots to me look like real estate agents.
You're standing in a baggage claim. You've got a life jacket around your neck.
No, fuck off.
And you see a pilot, and you're like, this fucking pilot.
Fuck
I'm going
off.
to teach him a lesson.
No, fuck
I'm going
off,
to trip him over.
Tell me they're not doing dress up. You telling me they're not doing dress up? It's childish. You see them at the airport, they're wearing a fucking hat. I'm like, what? Do you not have tinted windscreens? I'm like, you're literally dressed up like cosplay. You're dressed up in this weird sort of scarves, and you've got gloves on and a hat, and you're walking through Perth Airport to fly Jetstar, and what you basically do is sit in there and press autopilot. You press a button and the simulator flies the whole thing, and then you basically lie, sleep and play solitaire on your phone. Yeah, go fuck yourself. I do not like the theatrics around what they wear. Explain to me why they need a hat. What are they the wind, keep the wind out of their eyes? Like, what is it? The sun, their glare? I'm like, go fuck yourself, dude. It's all done on the console.
But would you not, I don't know if I would be stoked if I saw, like, a pilot rocking up to, like, if I saw my pilot approaching the plane.
Yeah.
And he was just wearing a fucking Slipknot hoodie.
No, you're all right.
Whoa, wait a minute. What's that? Sorry. Can I get the one in the hat, please?
No, you are dead right. It's actually the uniforms that you need. Like, if you're at a pool hall and a guy brings his own cue and he's got a glove, you respect him. You know, you're not going to get a loan.
You don't respect that, but I suppose.
No, but you're not going to get a home loan from someone dressed for the beach. But you might.
yeah, that's probably
and
more.
Obviously, if someone comes around to play you in video games and they bring their own controller and they've got special gaming gloves, you would give them a modicum of respect. So I suppose that's why they must have some dress code, but Get rid of the hat. It's fucking embarrassing.
For you, it's just the hat.
What are we being sun smart at 40,000 feet? It's fucking stupid. What are you getting sunburnt because you're so close to the sun? It's a dumb idea where it's like journey to the center of the earth, and we're like, we need the peak of the cap to keep the sun's flare as we weave through. Like they're acting out like they're dodging clouds up there. And like you basically go to 40,000 feet and then you hit a button and it just goes in a straight line because the turbulence proves that they don't know how to fucking fly. Because I'm like, go around
like the
this
occasional flight you have where the captain comes over and they're like, oh, we're going to be, we've got some turbulence coming up ahead, so we're just going to be adjusting our altitude. And you're like, oh, that's nice. This one is taking care of us, of our comfort in the back.
Yeah.
But then you've got the pilot who's up there and he's like, hey guys, we're going to be experiencing some turbulence. And you're like, mate, we've been shaking for 5 minutes. Like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, it's like fasten your seatbelts, we're going through some turbulence. And it's like that dickhead on a jet ski that just goes directly to the peak of the wave. And I'm like, I've never felt a plane adjust. I'm like, hey, are we going to dip the wing? Like, should we go around the clouds? I'm like, clouds aren't everywhere. I'm like, why does this fucking reckless prick have to fly through the side of the mountain of clouds? And you know why it is? Because none of them can fly. And the autopilot just goes like crow's flight directly to its destination. And I also think it's a money thing because Jetstar knows you burn more fuel moving those mechanics.
Yeah.
So it's actually better to just go up.
Yeah, everyone hold on tight.
40,000 feet and just go, who gives a fuck if they throw up their fucking chicken sandwiches that were $19 each? What I'm just saying, I do love that idea of putting a lien on property of the company. It's actually legal.
You should. What do you mean it's actually legal?
Well, because they have taken your bag in possession, and until you have confirmed that it's been returned, you are entitled to take a lien up to that value.
This is not. This is
under the law. You are.
This is completely unsubstantiated.
If someone has your property, you can take a lien up to that value in other property until it's returned.
I don't believe that. I don't believe this. Where is this?
That's how the law works, dude. That's what a lien is. A lien is when someone has. Say someone owes you $1,000, a stupid mechanic, he owes you $1,000. You can go in and take $1,000 worth of his tools and you're not broken the law.
I don't know if it, like putting your baggage underneath the plane or even on another plane, whatever. Like I know.
Look, I know what you're saying because you need evidence that they've taken it. It is a bit presumptuous
I'm
to
saying
go
it's
like,
a lot flimsy, man. There's a lot of flimsy with this. You can't be... I don't think you can walk out with the life jacket on and be like unscrewing the seat.
What I'm just saying, you should do that everywhere. When you go to the mechanic, you should say, hey, here's my Captiva. And then when you're leaving, you should take like one of their drill bits or important bits and go, I'll return this when I know you've done a good job. And I'm like, what? And I go like, what? A drug dealer's going to just give you a taste of the drugs without money? I'm like, you give me some sort of, whatever it's called. Custody. What's that thing called?
Like collateral.
Security. Like a bond. Give me a bond.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want collateral up to my Captiva value. So I'm like, guess what, dickhead? I'm driving your car until I know my car's safely returned. And you go, well, that's a lot because we're just putting brake fluid in and window wipe. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't fuck around on this planet. I don't trust anyone. I'm in a fight, a cosmic fight with karma right now. And I'm not going to give him an easy win by getting you give access to my asset without any fucking custody. I need a security bond in every situation. Even when I'm ordering a coffee, right? I'm at a coffee shop. As I transact for that $5, I will hold on to one of the muffins until my coffee has been paid.
Until a muffin.
Why are you leering under the desk? And I'm going, trust no one, respect nothing. I'm like, everyone's a fucking C-bomb. You yell that and you hold on to that muffin. And then when they give it back, go, see? Wasn't that hard, was it? I felt safer by knowing that at worst case scenario, I left with a muffin. And I know that you've never ever ripped me off and there's no history for this, but I'm like, better to be safe than sorry. That's why I'm a defensive driver. Like, I will cut you off before you cut me off.
You're taking the offensive driving approach.
Well, do you know what I mean?
Kill or be killed.
Yeah, it's defensive driving. That's why I clipped that cyclist. Defensive.
This isn't a situation where someone's taking your stuff. Like, you're going to a mechanic, you're volunteering your Captiva.
Yeah.
Before they can say anything, you've swiped the keys to his Commodore.
I want a hostage.
I'll be taking your car, my friend, until like he didn't agree to this. You know what I mean? You volunteered your car to him.
Consider this a hostage. And it's the same human being that always tells you, do you know when they almost got hit? Oh, you almost hit me with the trolley. It could have injured me. And I'm like, but it didn't happen, so shut the fuck up. That's the sort of person I'm going to become. You could have stolen the vehicle.
Right.
Kids do it a lot. And I could have really hurt myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, you didn't, so shut up. Grow up. Shut the fuck up. Oh, and he jumped on me and he could have really hurt my back. And I'm like, well, is it hurt? Shut up then. It didn't happen. We don't work in fucking hypotheticals in this realm. And these are all lessons that need to be learned, and that's going to come up in my upcoming book of Living Better, Living Well. Living Better, Living Well with Andrew Wolf.
So to you, completely unrelated, the 35 one-star reviews and all the other stuff that's not going well.
I am getting stitched up. I'm a great passenger. Do you know what the other thing is? What I do as the Uber, I generally try to sit directly behind them so there's a threat. So I'll time how the vehicle...
No one is thinking that it's a threat, man. That's not an assumed...
Oh, what do you mean? You don't think it's hard? You drive for 40 minutes and you can't see the guy because he's directly behind you? That's like holding a gun to someone's back.
Dude, you see him in the mirror, man. Like, you look right up to the left. You can see your
What I worked out is what's the most threatening place to sit in an Uber directly behind them where they can't see your hands and you're right near their neck. And then you sit there and go... These are all strategies I have. Like, I would never sit alongside them in the front, and I generally try to avoid where they can look back and see me. I like to be behind so they don't know if I'm eating a kebab, drinking alcohol, or sharpening a knife.
But that's exactly where they can see you, man. They can see you in the fucking rear view right there.
No bullshit, dude. The rear view does both sides.
What?
You telling me, okay, so which would you rather have? You have a guy to the left of you or a guy directly behind you? Behind you is threatening, the most threatening position.
I think someone getting in the passenger seat is maybe weirder than them getting in behind me, because there's always going to be someone getting in behind you and sitting directly behind you. It's not that strange.
No, not with a single passenger. These are the ranks of weirdness. Over familiar, which is the front. That's crazy. That is fucking psychopath.
The front is crazy.
That's someone from the country or someone that's lonely, and that's a freak. And I would immediately say, get out of my vehicle. This isn't Hinge. It isn't Tinder. It isn't. This isn't a speed dating or it's not a youth group, fuckhead. You need to make friends outside of business transactions. Go and join a fucking craft community center and do fucking make kites or whatever the fuck you guys.
Yeah, you need a fucking hiking group, my man. This is This is not the time to be making friends.
That is obviously the most offensive part of a business transaction, is when they try to get a friend out of it. I'm like, no, to the mechanic. I'm like, there's a reason I took your drill bit, and it's because this is a financial transaction. Friends are for my community group where we build kites on the weekend, which is something I do. And obviously I'm not taking liens with my kite building group. We're out there having fun, and I'm sharing bonsai wood to help other people build bigger kites. Dude, can you believe adults make kites?
Yeah, it's pretty gay, man.
Oh, my God. There's even a kid. It's like a bubble machine. A kite can only capture your imagination for about an hour before you get bored with it. And you're like, we need to do stunt kites. It needs to be kite surfing, or we need to swoop at people.
Yeah.
Dude, I've just actually had the greatest idea, and this is going to be the big activity for my boys and I. It's Maggie swoop season, and it's time to get the kite up and see what can be done. You know those stunt swoop kites?
Right.
Do you know how fun it would be having a battle around the nest? You've got a kite and the Maggie's swooping back at the kite, and you're ducking and weaving trying to get near the eggs. That is Battle Royale. We could do that for hours.
I'd like to take I'd like to weaponize a kite on the weekend, take it out, a couple of little kitchen utensils on the side, see if you can't stunt kite that into some of the other neighborhood kites.
Oh, yeah.
Slash some kites up, put some holes in there.
It's like that kite runner where the game is they've got little razors and you got to try, you got to like cut the line of the other one and that's how you win.
Yeah, dude, that's amazing. That'd be so good, man.
It's a great movie. It's called like Kite Runner. And it's basically, I think it's set in Israel, Palestine, preparing those young boys for conflict. And they start off with fighting the Israel, Palestine. They have kite fights.
Fuck the kite, man. Fuck the kite. Give your kid a scissor and have him running around the park.
Oh, that's so good.
Can you imagine you're there with your son flying a kite and some little fat boy runs up and clips it?
It's like Nelson from The Simpsons. Ha, 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 ha. And then runs off. Do you remember Nelson from The Simpsons? Probably one of the best characters. The bully kid.
Yeah, man.
There's not enough people like him. They've been crushed. Like, you wouldn't actually find one of those boys anymore. They're from a yesteryear. Like,
You'd be hard pressed to, man.
It's hard pressed to find them, and it's a much lost there. But you know what? It'd be amazing to see, because we obviously had the Nerf gun with Maggies, but the next level is a kite that looks like a Maggie, and people going like a psycho, having a combat with a magpie during nesting season as you keep swooping at its eggs. I mean, that is the sort of thing that you're going to get yelled at by community. Community don't like that. Where you go like, it's so fun. The only thing you need extra to be a full redneck is have like an esky with some beers and you're pretty much roo shooting off the back of a ute, but in suburbia. And no one does it. And then, the instinct is kill or be killed. Everyone denies it. You can see it, and we saw it during COVID. You'll shove someone to the ground to get loo roll.
Yeah,
so, don't pretend. The only thing that allows us to be nice is privilege and abundance, because there's adequate supply. As soon as supply drops, it's a basic supply-demand thing.
People turn nasty. Yeah.
There is no community. It's a supply-demand curve, and we're just in an abundant, it's just any shortage will show the true nature. So everyone gets to act nice in abundant, a state of supply exceeding demand. What I'm saying to you, it's basic economics. So then you get to die and say, I was a good man. But if you put you out in Soweto and you're all fighting for the last bit of fucking spam, you will stab someone. So don't ever act moral. You're not moral. You just have it. The supply curve has allowed you to sit above it.
What are you suggesting for, in what way should we be changing our behavior?
What I'm saying is, it is a blessing to die honorably and to have that idea that you were a kind and gracious person. It is just a reflection of your economy. If you live in Israel and Palestine, or if you live in a third world, you're not allowed to die without blood on your hands. You are forced into fight or flight survival mode. I'm saying we get to die and go like, yeah, I did the soup kitchen, CEO sleep out rough thing. I'm like, you never ever had to get dirty because of your privilege, and you get to die and go, God, he was a good man. He used to give out free sandwiches. He used to do this. What I'm saying to you is, the greatest part of being first world is we get to die with a clean conscience. No one in the third world gets to do that.
But I think they get to die with a clean conscience as well. It's a different thing. Like, he fought for his family.
Yeah, but they have moral quagmires. They have moments where they have to fuck over their brother to try stay in their mud hut. You know what I mean? Whereas what I'm saying to you is, if you've got limitless money and you're a lawyer or an engineer, you never get moral. You never have moral questioning. You never have a moment where you have to basically cut loose your nan for the good of the boys. Do you know that people have moments on a refugee ship where they basically just drown their dad out the side because they're like, the thing's not floating proper. And they go, we'll miss you, old man, but he's got cataracts anyway. He didn't really even see what was happening. He just thought it was a storm. But it was just us splashing water into his face until he drowned.
Yeah, but
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. But it would be crazy.
It's fucking Noah's Ark, cataract man.
But when you do have an excess of supply, it would be crazy. Like, it'd be like, man, Jeff was Jeff was a real cunt. Like he had everything he needed, but he still stole. He stole everything.
That's what I'm saying.
He beat his kids. And he stole candy that was given to them for Halloween. He took it straight out of their mouth.
That's when you've got a real dog on your hands. Someone like me that's doing it just for sport. Doing it for sport, taking that last parking bay just for sport, pulling the finger out the side of the car, out there. But I'm saying in first world, I'm normal. Where, you know what I mean? It's a fucking what's it called when you ravage stores?
Looting.
Yeah. Dude, do you know what I'm saying? Like, what I'm saying to you is it's your status and your wealth that allows you to die as a good man. No one dies a good man that doesn't have privilege. You're forced to be a prick. And that's what I'm saying to you. Fundamentally, no one should be judged. And that's why heaven is a fucking rort. Because it's your circumstance that determined, fair enough, sex crimes, murders, not ideal. But I'm saying, what about fraud and some of these other things are necessary when you live you're a hell person and you've got no other fucking option than to do a credit card fraud. Because you weren't educated, you're inbred, you got 9 teeth, and you got to survive on this planet. You got 9 fucking teeth. I'm sorry, I stole a tin of beans.
Now, you know people are losing interest in Israel and Palestine because they're starting to talk about how many Australians are involved.
Oh, mate.
16,000 killed in bombings on Gaza Strip, 4 Australians missing.
Dude.
We need to find these little Aussies. Where are they?
Dude, a lot of people... The current angle is always treating it like a sporting event. Who's winning? Who's that? Which was our angle. But basically, the brightest and strongest comedic minds have really not managed to hit this one over the fence. Like, I haven't heard anything good. It's just scrambled. And it's sort of like when someone dies in a helicopter, whatever that, Kobe Bryant, the takes suck. They're puns, word plays, or Ari Shafir saying, good on it, glad he's dead.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just so depressing about the capabilities of comedic mind. Like, I don't have any take on this. I'm like, this should be our bread and butter. We should be in there doing Izzy Pazral. You should do an hour show on it. People cry, laughing, going, you sort of resolved it. But the big insight is just geography. Just someone explaining where it is on a map. Seems to be the most shareable clip is someone going, it's there. And they're like, fuck. It's fucking all the way up the top there. Fucking hell. That's bad what's going on, Up there. Fucking bullshit, dude. You got to learn to love humans. Shouldn't be fucking hurting them,
Yeah. I think that like it's all a game of trying to close distance. Right? Like, there's no, it's too far away for anybody to be truly invested in.
Dude, yeah, definitely.
That's when they start talking about how many Australians are missing.
And you know what? You know what I'll tell you though? Like, it's like any speech at a funeral. It's always met with applause and reverence because I'm like, even the USC fighters were like, do you know, they would after their fight going, yeah, love everywhere. I've had a head injury and go like, you got to learn to love and feel and humans, everyone wants to just barbecue and have fun. And they're going some profound words from Kizimaki Balaki about love. God, he's brave to say that. I'm like, what, stating the fucking bleeding obvious? Fuck up. But yeah, I agree with you. As soon as, but that's what they do with all the news.
Yeah. Like at first it was enough to be like, Palestine has attacked Israel. And then people were like, oh my God, that's crazy. But it's because it's like, there's like Jews are kind of weird for us.
Yeah.
Israel Jews, they're like concentrated cordial syrup Jews.
Dude, I agree with you because it's like nationalism. Like they can't really just actually mention Israel, Palestine or Hamas. Like they have to do the Australian spin because no one gives a fuck.
Yeah.
They only want the Australian identity. And it goes, Jeff and Sue had to cut their holiday short because of fucking chaos in Europe for the flight as a result of a horrific war. And like Jim reckons there's been too much of it on the TV and it's cutting through Wheel of Fortune and sweepstakes. Like they can never just actually address the thing because people go like, they're aliens. Jews?
They that's what they do at first, but then people because we can't connect.
Yeah.
Because the Jews are weird. The Arabs are weird too. They're brown and they did 9/11, so we can't really empathize with them.
Yeah.
Like Russia and Ukraine, they're both white, right? So it was many, many months without having to mention any Australians or close any distance.
Yeah, you got it. Now you have to do as an Australian man is walking across the desert to raise funds for the Christ. And you know what's so bad is everyone thinks they've got compassion, but the reality is it's a ratings weighting scale. So what it's saying is like, fuck, every time we do another fucking bombing, people are flicking off and we're not getting Nike ads across.
Yeah, they can't handle it.
And they're like, dude, we got to bring in the fun runners. Is there a school raising some money with a sausage sizzle? Let's get some fucking drone footage of a sausage sizzle at a community hall, and we'll keep these guys on the hook because they don't give a fuck about these other races.
That would be, dude. That would be the dream, man. The dream would be like Ukrainian AFL team unable to compete.
Oh yeah.
Here they are. Look, they're dressed up like your boys. It's the Ukrainian bomber AFL team. Like
Dude, imagine
the drone strikes.
you interview the head of Hamas, and he's wearing a Matilda scarf.
Yeah, dude. That's the way to. That would absolutely be the move.
And you sort of open up. So, what is your agenda and political strife? And then you go. Also, just before you leave, Haraji, what are your thoughts of the Olympic trials? Who do you think's going to get it? Go the mighty Matildas. And he's like, go on, Matildas. Go, Matildas. Go, mighty Matildas. And it's like at Olympics where everyone has to have, they can't just do one interview. They have to, the Canadian going like, yeah, I was crying maple syrup. And it's like every person has to do their spin. You know what I mean? Like you can't just interview and go, Usain Bolt, you ran fast, good on you, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You have to have Basil Zemplis. G'day, we give you a good day, Sheila. We give you a big Aussie warm hug and a fucking prawn on the barbie for your achievement. Good on you, Usain. Thanks for giving us time today. Anyway, I'll leave you. I know you've got another 19 countries that have to try to
try to get involved.
And they go like, you're a bloody larrikin. And then the UK, you're a rabble rouser, my boy. And they've got to try fucking Vegemite, the interaction. It's fucking crazy, dude.
I reckon you'd still have straight, just constant reporting on Ukraine and Russia if there was like a few less videos of Zelensky speaking Ukrainian and he's speaking English. That's the problem. Like he created too much distance by speaking his weird language.
Oh, dude.
It creates too much distance and we're unable to connect anymore.
You prefer that they do like deaf voice with like a poor grasp of the language and go like, yeah, I still want you to get him to speak English and do the Ukraine no me forklift. That clip could go viral. That clip could go viral. I still believe that joke has so much legs. If the president, Zelensky, would go, Ukraine, no, me forklift. Imagine if you could trick him because he doesn't know English and he keeps going, me forklift. Oh, dude, but it is funny how it's the same bit that I've always said, like when you learn a foreign language and you're man well and you're not really respected, like Zelensky, because his accent's there, I think, no wonder they're in war. He sounds like, because he goes, we're trying to fix it and we make a good effort and try no more bomber. And you're like, Jesus, this guy shouldn't be in charge. And he's actually done an incredible thing because he's memorized all these sounds. And he goes, we make a no bomber. Have a good one. Go Matilda. And you're like, what the fuck? This guy's a fucking moron. I wouldn't get him to mow my lawn. So he's operating fucking nuclear button. Get him out of there. Get me in there. But if you actually heard him in his local language, he's probably in like doing like the formula of pi. He's sophisticated. Do you know? And I think you actually do yourself a disservice speaking in the local language. Like Russia, Putin doesn't do it. You don't do a lot of it. It's fucking embarrassing. You go, learn my language. And if you don't, we'll bomb you. Know that, cunt.
That's the smart move, man. You invade another country and then you make the entire English speaking world disinterested because you only speak Russian, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so they can't connect. They're like, I don't give a fuck what's going on. Like, this has been on the news every night this week.
Yeah.
Fuck this, I'm out. Like, I'm done.
It's gobbledygook. What's he saying? What?
They need to figure out how to get people invested without like talking about how many Australians. Because
But dude,
I saw an article yesterday and it was like, this is the Australian man who can't get out of Gaza, and then they show a picture and you're like, man, what the fuck's he doing in Gaza, dude? Like, this is crazy. I can't relate to this.
more pressing. It's what Carlin said. It's just entertainment, and the more pressing matter is why are mummy and daddy letting the little kids aware of finances and bigger issues? Stuff like this should just be run by the politics. Jim's mowing franchise guy, I don't know why they're trying to get him immersed. He can't change anything. He just wants to go to Bali. Why are they going so hard at the paint so that everyone's immersed in wars and these things? Just say, look, it's adult time. Close your ears. It's big, it's big per people topics. I would just have that news and go, look, it's things are happening. You kids don't need to worry. Just know that we're going to Disneyland at the end of the year. And they're like, I see flashing at night. And they go, don't you worry your pretty little head. You just read your Thomas the Tank Engine books. Like, why are they trying to get them involved? What's a housewife from Labrador going to be able to do about it besides cry about beheadings of babies? Just go, look, it's adult business. It's beyond what you need to understand. Just focus in on getting the latest sweepstakes prize. You can win a jet ski. Don't get them involved in it. Don't even tell us about the world. I don't even think they should have been a globe. Showing people a map was the fucking first mistake. Giving them possibilities. People should not be allowed to travel. You should not be aware of a place called Santorini where the cocktails flow and there's Portuguese girls that might suck you off on a gondolo. Maybe not a gondolo there, but do you know what I mean? You should have no knowledge. You should just be sleeping with the girl you meet down at Coles. Do not fucking put hope in people's minds. It's a fucking curse.
I reckon you should turn the news on and it's Ukraine, Russia, and they've AI'd your school bully onto a Russian.
Oh, that's it.
Like, he's in fatigues, he's dressed up, and he's shooting at Ukrainians, and you're like, that's Greg. I hate that cunt. Fuck you, Greg.
Oh, yeah.
Your family, your wife and
Dude.
children, they've been AI'd onto corpses.
I love it.
You
know what they
you
need
can invest.
They needed to do it like in Big Short. You know the movie Big Short where they had to explain shorting? And then they'd show like a bag of ham and they go like, you borrow, you give, and they're like, Jack and Jill went up the hill. And basically they should cut away and go like this. You go to the canteen with $3, you come back with $2, and then they threw a Chico roll at your head. Do you know what I mean? Like, have these horrible sort of, I'd like it if it went to cartoon explanations like the wolf in sheep's clothing. So they explain like, do you know what I mean? They explain what Zelensky's done with a sporting metaphor or just explaining.
Dude, that's brilliant, man. Don't even worry about the sporting metaphor. Like, they want to get us in, or they want to keep people interested in like geopolitics. Don't do a real quick news update. Be like, hey,
yeah, and then explain
Israel, Palestine, and then you cut to an AFL recreation of it.
Yeah, you're like they're down 30 points, or just a basic like mummy and daddy are fighting, and then they show footage in the car of them arguing and going, mummy and daddy might separate or they might get back together. We're not sure. And then people go, oh, I get it. That's what happened when I was 16. Mummy ended up staying in the house, but then Jeff would visit, and they had an arrangement that Jeff could still have sleepovers on weekends.
It's a mistake to be like, there are 4 Australians missing. You should flip on the TV and there is a literal AFL game between Israel and Palestine.
Yes.
And you can get invested. You're like, oh my God, Palestine's up 12 points. That's pretty good. Like, we can get involved in this.
The thing they've missed a bet with, and it's sports bet, right? They've got betting on everything, but you should be betting on the war.
Dude, that's it, man. That's how you get Australians interested, man. Sports bets doing odds on Israel, Palestine.
And you've got a trifecta on a beheading. And you're like, you cannot believe it. It's unbelievable.
Hell yeah, man.
I'm so conflicted because it's 14,000 deaths, but I've also That's a big yield, dude. That ticket's come in. That's $2,000.
The news is on and it's like 15,000 dead, and you just hear, oh,
yeah.
as Israel bombs Palestinian hospital. Way!
Dude, at first touch, and you can cash in and cash out, and it's all gambling on it. And you're in there feeling very conflicted because things are getting worse and worse, but you're like, yeah, I've been betting that way though.
Hi, Darren here for darrensadblokes.com.au, Australia's #1 Israel vs Palestine betting website. This week we're doing double odds on residential bombings, death toll trifectas, and up to $500 match bonus bets on beheadings. E5, C2, our new Battleship Bonanza feature game is paying out big, bloody bonuses if you can correctly pick where the bombs fall on the bombardment board. Get your bets in on this month's biggest conflict at darrensadblokes.com.au.
The question is, like, we are, like I said, our privilege, our morality just comes from our privilege. At the end of the day, we should just be betting on everything.
Yeah.
Betting on divorces. You should be able to bet on a neighbour's divorce.
Yeah.
And then as you hear him slam the door and drive off, you can hear two cars, yeah, go you bloody good thing. It's fucking nuts. One more. Number 43 divorces and I get the fucking quadrilla. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Fucking yeah, you hear it and you've got to run around and confirm with the kids. He's left. Has he left? Fuck, the app's not updating. Has he left? He fucking left. That's all I needed. It doesn't matter if he comes back. The vet is valid. Even if he's just driven off and to cool off in the park. I'm getting paid out, baby. Good luck with your family. Bye. Just walk off. Sorry about that, dude. Man, but explaining things with cartoon, pigs, and images is so good.
That's man. That's a Peppa Pig episode we need, dude.
Dude, everything should just... The whole TV, all news should be cartoon.
Yeah.
Where it's basically like a dog at a butcher's window and they're explaining Putin, and the window inside is Ukraine. And there's a sausage that looks like Ukraine and Putin's licking his lips and they go, the hungry wolf wants to sneak in and have a little treat. And he goes, oh, bad hungry wolf. And then you can explain to your mates and go like, so the hungry wolf Putin wants to eat some Ukraine sausage. It's fucking bad wolf. And then someone else go, I think he should have a little nibble of the end of that sausage. We should let him have a little taste.
Do you remember those weird 3D animations that they had years and years ago? It would be like, I remember they had one for Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Like his car's there and then he's standing outside of the car and his wife is like this little 3D model like yelling at him going,
Yeah.
We should be bringing those back.
Oh my God, I know where they came from. Japan.
Yeah.
In Asia, they used to make cartoons of the news.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
did
yeah.
actually do it. I remember, and they showed like the car driving off and then wah, la, 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 and him hitting the car. And they would basically reenact. Everything was cartoons and it was to capture, it was like anime of news, of war, of like, but they mainly did it celebrity orientated. But
it would be great to see that for Israel-Palestine.
Dude, that is how you keep people engaged in the news. It should all be on Peppa Pig and going, do you know what I mean? Peppa Pig videos going, Daddy, inflation is up. And he goes, you know what? Up your, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the fuck, like some dialogue.
Bluey's being beheaded by Hamas.
Brilliant way, because what they're doing is they get cartoons in a way. Basil Zemplis with his big nose. They've got parodies and silly looking people on the silly morons, which is most hosts, right? A silly moron. I'm just like you. That is actually what I realized. All news hosts are silly moron. That's familiar. And you go, he's like my dumb mate from high school. That's Carl Stefanovic.
Yeah, like all the morning ones are like that. We're like, today we're going to be talking to our chef Jeff. We're going to be making a great breakfast omelet.
Oh, silly moron.
But before that, we're going to be figuring out what's going on with this Hamas.
Dude, and it's effectively, they just haven't gone the whole way. You need Peppa Pig should be that Piers Morgan. It should be, he should be dressed like Peppa Pig interviewing Andrew Tate. It'd be way better. I wish I knew the theme for Peppa Pig. I'm Mummy Pig. You're Daddy Pig. Dude, the Avengers, and you could have it all like, Fantastic Four, and everything would be like, you know what I mean? Marvel Universe, everything would be so much funner where, you know what I mean? Putin is a scary wolf trying to steal sausages from the butchers. Hey, and you go, he's got another sausage. What did he get? And it's the whole country, dude. And then you've got the China. China's got a cartoon character. North Korea's a character.
Man, betting on Israel Palestine, it's so good.
Oh, mate, it would be so conflicting when you got on a hot streak because you're a cynic and you're sort of a depressed person and you're just betting it's just going to get worse, and it all comes off World War III, and you see as the bombs light up the sky and you're just looking at your WhatsApp, you're looking at your Sportsbet app with your eyes ablaze going like, well, I've made a lot of money, but I don't know if there's going to be any world to spend it in. But fuck, what a bet. Torn up as you feel the radiation sort of hitting your face, and you're also looking at a Sportsbet app with the numbers just going brrr, brrr, infinity dollars. I'm worth infinity as the nuclear shadow casts over you. That is a great ending to life.
There's a big cloud in the distance.
And your kids are yelling, Daddy, we got to leave the house. The bomb's exploding, and you're just staring at this counter going up. Going, I bet on it. This is infinity dollars. And then you're just basically a shadow on the wall. Like, you know that place where the volcano went off?
Pompeii.
Most of Australia, it's bombed. And Ukraine, imagine even for the people struggling, it's like being able to short a stock. If you're in Ukraine or you're in Russia, but your house gets blown up, but you've got a punt effectively shorting, you're not as upset because you're like, don't worry, I leveraged the mortgage into this happening. We're actually upgrading. We're going to have a beautiful place in Russia, Mother Russia, now that they've taken us over. You go, Daddy's hedged. Daddy hedged this scenario using the Sportsbet app. So then you would have all those nuclear shadows, and they would look like Nike silhouettes of people looking at their phone, just checking the Sportsbet app. But do you know what a comedian did? Trying to do a joke, hummus Hamas.
Jesus Christ.
And going, ooh, I do like a bit of Hamas on my chips or some shit. Oh my God, imagine writing that on a pad, going in and wasting 50 people's time talking about it being a dip. My God, dude. My God. Some people need a little clip around the ear and they'll get lost.
Man, they found some fossilized remains of these two guys who were huddled together from Pompeii.
Like a Brokeback Mountain, them banging. Oh, dude.
From Pompeii.
Was it a 69? It was a Brokeback Mountain.
That's the thing, man. They were like, oh, could this be an early gay couple in Pompeii? And it's like, man, what?
Oh, mate.
Isn't it just two guys?
People don't realize gay was... I don't know when gay went out. It was when Christians pushed through, but it used to be fine. You bang your sister, you bang your mum, you bang everything.
Yeah, those two things aren't gay, but yeah, it's true.
No, but they
dude, it was the Greeks, dude. It was all about those Greeks, man.
Yeah, Greeks, dude. But what I'm saying to you is, it's only recent idea. We've progressed so much. No, we regressed and then we recovered.
Yeah.
People have been fucking margarine jars, whatever the fuck. You fuck anything, really.
Dude, the 5 good Roman emperors were good because they didn't have kids, man. Because they were either too gay or infertile, but they never produced offspring, so they had to pick successors based on merit.
You're not confusing your life with a baby. You just deposit up into a slave's ass and keep walking.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Okay, that's a bit horrific, but you know.
Oh, it's true, dude. That's true.
But it would be very upsetting, like Pompeii. Depending on what you're doing, because the one of the guy lying masturbating, they've got that. That has happened. The guy lying and he's jacking off.
But is it? You know what I mean? Like they're like, I know the guy was frozen for eternity in that position, but like if you've got a volcano exploding next to you, are you really jacking off until your final moment?
Dude, I love that. You don't think you're on a Jetstar flight, it's going down because the guy didn't have his hat on, and he kept getting glare, so he's hit a cloud in autopilot, and you've just got your dick out jacking off. But that's a big call, because if the plane lands, if the lava goes around, I suppose no one saw, but you have that moment where you're free. And you're going, we're all going to die anyway. I might as well just jack off now on seat 3A.
What I'm saying is, like, the guy's lying there, right? Maybe hot lava touched his balls and he put his hand down to protect his penis.
Yeah.
He was like, fuck, what the fuck? What's going on? And then he died. And then forever, they're like, look at this fucking loser jacking off in Pompeii.
Dude, and his whole family, they check Ancestry.com and there's a alarm button going, a sex pest in his food. That's your great-great-granddad was the jack-off of Pompeii. The fiddler.
The Pompeii masturbator.
The Pompeii fiddler. And I'm like, what the fuck? Imagine if your Ancestry.com took you back to that. And you're like, fiddler.
I feel like you put your hand down to protect your hot balls for a split second before you're eviscerated by lava, and then you're floating above yourself, looking down. You're like, oh no, that doesn't look good. Oh, I hope no one finds me. And then
you realize
thousands of years later, you're being dug up, and you're like, please don't still have my hand over my balls. That's gonna look terrible,
dude. It makes you realize that at the core, people are boring. Like they're all joyless, because it's like when you have a photo and it's flash photography, like you should do it. If you have a sense and you're a fun person, you would do like the YMCA as a group and go, we might as well go out, with a moment. It'd be fun. Do you know what I mean? Like the fact that everyone's fearful shows how pathetic they are. I mean, obviously the move is posed like Arnold Schwarzenegger in that muscle pose.
Well,
and I mean, you're going out. It's your last function and action on this earth, and it's terror. Don't be a puss. Do something fun. Do you know what I mean? Go like a weird sort of circle loop, or like, you know what I mean? That muscle flex pose.
I just don't think anyone in Pompeii was thinking like, man, they're definitely going to find my corpse. Like they're definitely, I'm going to be frozen in time. They're thinking, oh, it's hot. It's fucking hot.
I can guarantee you when the nuclear cloud comes over, you'll come to my house and there'll be a perfect silhouette looking like Michael Jordan, the Nike.
Yeah, just in the air.
And I'll be in the air and you'll say like, God, even got a laugh on the way out. God, we really should have given him a chance, but whatever.
Man, I think there's something in that distance thing.
What?
The further you are, like the less invested people can be. Like the more foreign looking, the faster you need to resort back to talking about how many Australians are missing.
It's an extension on what we were talking about, like that compassion's all driven by proximity, right? Like if you've got a drug addict in your family, you will expel them. But if you see a drug addict and the tennis club's raising money for them and they live on the other side of the country, you'll throw in some punny. But that's only if they're the same race. They're the same race.
Yeah, it's inverse. It's like, if they're too close to you, you don't care about them.
Yeah.
If your buddy Israel and Palestine, your two buddies Israel and Palestine were in an argument, if Izzy and Pally...
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, fuck off, guys. You're going to ruin another night? Fucking hell, I'm just trying to have a pint. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, you're squabbling about money again. You're squabbling about who gets the seat. Basically, they're two kids squabbling. You're at Sizzler and they both want to be on the stool closest to daddy. And I'm like, but you know what I mean? Like, it is proximity, right? But only to a point if they remind you of you.
Yeah.
If it's another nationality, then you have to cartoon it or they have to wear a Matilda scarf. And I've found a general disinterest in the Australian populace for the whole Israel-Palestine thing. It's not a big deal. They were more interested in Ukraine, Russia. I agree with you.
That's because they look just like us. But man, like, do you think Cyprus and Lebanon and Jordan, like, do you think they give a shit, or are they like these fucking assholes? Like these neighboring countries?
I think they care more because they look more like them. So it's
I think those ones are too close, man. Those ones are like, fuck off, these cunts, always arguing. That's like the proximity's too much for them.
Yeah.
Cyprus is just across the water, and they're like, fucking hell, man. Like, I can't sleep. I'm hearing bangs. This sucks.
This is my dumb understanding of it. It's like two kids squabbling, And the real move is for the adult to take the Nintendo Switch away from both of them until they cool off. So I'm like, I don't understand what happens is mummy at the front's arguing with Palestine, daddy's arguing with Israel. And I'm like, what daddy really needs to do is lean back, take all the land off and go like, enough! Daddy has the Switch now. Shut the fuck up. You sit there quietly and you'll get it back when I'm ready. You need the US to go in and go, get the fuck out of the land, all of you guys. You're a fucking disaster. You're going to bed early. Get in there, Israel, into your room. Palestine, go to bed. Do not raise your voice to daddy. I'm like, why is daddy in there going, squabbling? He's driving the vehicle and he's got his hand behind the seat trying to grab the Switch and give it to Palestine, give it to Israel. I'm like, take the Switch off them.
Israel and Palestine need a swift slap across the knees in the back seat.
You need to take the Nintendo Switch off these squabbling children and then they'll be grateful. And you go, okay, it's another hour in the car ride. Are you guys willing to share this now again? And they go, yes, daddy, yes. What I'm saying is it's weird to me that global politics would invest in micro politics, a micro activity. You should be able, and it's because of patriotism and national, because they feel like, oh no, they don't see themselves as an adult. They think that child is them. So they're like, no, this guy represents us. That one represents us. And I'm like, no, just scold both of them, send them both to bed without dinner, and I'll move in there and set up a Disney park, a Wet and Wild, in the Gaza Strip.
Do you know what I think's really strange is yesterday I saw an article about how Israel had bombed a residential building.
Yeah.
Which I thought was very confusing to me because we're on their team, right?
Well, mate, all of it's confusing.
But why are they bombing a residential building when they're the good guys?
What about if you did this? You just go in the Gaza Strip and you build a free water park that everyone can play with and everyone just calms down.
Oh, dude, that's very Roman, dude. Like a bathhouse, man. That's the modern bathhouse. It's a Wet and Wild.
When you've been on the tube together and you go on the slip and slide, the tunnel of terror, are you going to end up going to get angry? You've had a great day. You've had free hot dogs. I don't think they eat meat, whatever, but maybe. And then you get slushies. What I'm saying to you is have some events there. Send Tina Turner. I think, is Tina Turner dead?
To be fair, when Palestine attacked first, man, they attacked a trance festival, which is pretty funny, man. Imagine these guys like just raving to DJ Tiesto.
Dude, you know how you fix this? You put a helmet and a bodysuit on Taylor Swift. You send her out there. She does a free concert in the Gaza Strip, and you go if she performs for 2 hours, you guys have to fucking stop. And all the wives are like, it's worth it. You know how hard it's to get a ticket? Taylor's coming in. She's going to be on that rising stage. I'm saying if you sent Taylor Swift there and she did a 4-hour show, free of charge in the Gaza Strip, most people would go, you know what? It's a fucking once-in-a-lifetime chance to see the Swiftie. Let's fuck morals, fuck religion. Let's watch her sing I'm a Ball and Chain or whatever her fucking song is. What's her song?
Oh, man, I don't know. Shake something. That's the one I remember. That's like 10 years ago.
Shake it off. Shake it off.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. But man, how long did Hong Kong get, dude? That was a few years ago. The protests got maybe a month.
Yeah, no one can protest, dude.
They've been taken over. It was a hostile takeover, but the distance is too much, man. They look nothing like us.
Yeah, and the protest... No, but it had been agreed by us we were going to give it freely after a certain number of years. But you know what the thing is?
But hold on. But a certain number of years is not over. And then also Hong Kong were protesting by the million.
Yeah, but you know what happens?
And we're like, no, we can't pay that much attention to this. It's too confusing.
The rabble have no impact, and that's why they shouldn't be confused and upset with mummy and daddy business. You know, they should be just kept with the cartoons, because at the end of the day, do all the protests you want. Eventually, it's just a community group for you to have an activity. You literally mean fuck all. And I'm like, they shouldn't. Mummy and dad, they should not know if daddy's lost his job. I'm like, I don't understand why the populace has any idea about geography, countries, and opportunities. They should not. People in Australia shouldn't even know about Rome or London. I would keep it out of schools. People should think that your life begins and ends at the factory you work at. You don't need to have, one day I'm going to see the Eiffel Tower. It's not good for your soul to know that there's other things out there. You should just know that it's all about the community hall.
I think it's a way better idea and it's way cooler to get them involved through allegory, like sports bet or AFL.
Do you know what you
games.
should do? They need more of this wife swap, but run by governments. Wife swap just to like get people aware of more cultures. So an Aussie housewife sent into Israel, a Ukraine. Swap, and then you get to try the different types of sausages and how they do laundry in a bucket, you do it in a washing machine, and you come to know. There should be more wife swapping. Don't you think?
Hell
6
yeah, dude.
months? 6 months, your wife's sent to Russia? You know what? She comes back a changed woman. She hugs you. I'll tell you, you've never had a hug like that when she returns at the airport. Where they stun gun her out of customs and she runs to you. And I've never been embraced like that by a human being than my Israeli wife swap. Dude, and the saddest moment sending them back. Your Palestinian bride who's lived the lap of luxury. She's had an Adventure World season pass, loving life.
Oh, yeah, dude, that's the cruelest thing of all, man. That's that's giving the World Vision kid the KFC Ultimate feed.
Oh, dude, and then you're like, it's like that bit. Like what we're done with the cancer where you make a wish.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's the ultimate
then
feed.
obviously the make-a-wish is amazing until you're coming back for the make-a-wish and then it's the cruelest thing you could do to a terminally ill person.
Yeah.
It's one last trip at Disneyland and then chemotherapy for the remainder of their time on this planet. It is actually cruel. And it would be the same with your Palestinian wife swap because you would eventually have to drive it to the airport and go like, trust me, I've been watching the cartoons. It's calmed down a lot. Peppa Pig's not as angry.
Yeah.
Peppa Pig's
fine.
sleeping now.
Peppa said
Pig
it's
fell
almost
asleep.
sorted.
I've watched the last few days and he's overeaten and he's fallen asleep. Putin Wolf has fallen asleep after tasting some of the sausage and he's gone away for a while. We're in the ad breaks now. You're good to go back.
All right, so let's do.
Picks of the week.
Dude, I got to check how much money I've lost.
Yeah, man. Dude, how's T? Oh, dude, TPD's done nothing again. That's crazy.
Dude, you know what?
Day.
You know what the crazy one is? WC8 in the 70s now.
Oh, dude, does that mean? Oh, you could have invested yesterday as well. Fuck. Dude.
Oh no, but dude, I could have. I got in at 8 cents, dude.
I know, but you got out at 16 cents. Why didn't you hold on?
Well, you know why? Because patience eludes me always because of my ADHD. I actually have the right moves, but it's very hard to remain committed when you wait at a bus stop and you see 90 buses come past, wave at you, pull a finger at you, and then drive on. Who pulls a finger at a stranger just passed by? It's a sicko.
50 overexposed bad positions looming.